If you can look back real quick, when you think about the Akron match and the UConn match, what did you spot as the differences in performance and result?
Yes, I do.
I would say that in the Akron match, I felt like we came out prepared in regards to our energy, our willingness to defend on both sides of the ball. And I would say that against UConn, we had a similar demeanor. Unfortunately, though, our first 7-10 minutes was a slow start, and we were punished by it. Even though I thought we dominated in that UConn match as well, it was a slow start, and it put us behind the 8 ball a little bit.
Are you treating St. John's as a get-right game, though, to kind of have that momentum building up after that UConn result?
Absolutely. And it's something that I think we've struggled with all season in regards to getting on a roll and getting some momentum as we move forward and going through match to match. I feel like this season in particular has been a lot of up and down flowing in regards to getting some continuity and getting the guys flowing. So absolutely going to go into St. John's and look to catapult ourselves and get hopefully some good momentum going into Big East tournament play.
What's the takeaway, if any, from that Akron result about, you can compete with anybody, particularly in the league, and with the seeding being really fluctuating potentially, is there a takeaway as you head towards postseason from there?
Absolutely. Akron at the time when they came in, I think we missed them by a day or two where they were ranked number 3 in the country. And then they had a tie and it dropped them to 7th. I think now they're back up to 5th. I think when you look at the landscape nationally, Akron is notably one of the best teams in the country. When you look at Akron in the Big East, they're one of the best teams in the Big East. And so for us to be able to get a result against a team of that caliber lets us know kind of where we sit in the national landscape. And so and that's something that we take away from that match, saying, hey, we can play with the best of them. If we show up and we do the things we're supposed to be doing, we could be playing in a national tournament.
I'm sure the players kind of know the scenario as far as you're bringing up. You could be a 2 or a 7 anywhere in there. Do you even talk about that much before a game, or just not worry about that?
Yeah, we don't. And at least I don't like talking too much about it. The one thing I did mention to them yesterday before training was, hey, we know we're playing postseason, right? So let's relieve ourselves from that stress, right? There's teams that can say, well, we're not. There's a chance we won't make it a postseason. We know we're there, regardless of whether we're 2nd seed or 7th seed. And so I asked them to release that stress, play freely, get excited about continuing to get better after this St. John's match.
Last year's group was pretty streaky, like super good in the beginning, incredible at the end. Do you have a feel for this group and what you're seeing in terms of what you see in the guys leading up to training, leading up to the match, right before kickoff, as opposed to in terms of what you think you're going to see for the next 90 minutes?
I think the difference between this group and the group last year, there might have been a little bit of this sentiment that if things didn't go well, it was okay. They were going to bounce back and things were going to go our way. Our guys, I think, have had a hard time feeling that same way this season. And it's not all their fault as well. To be honest with you, there's a lot of times this season where the ball just hasn't rolled our way. And I'll give you a perfect example. I've never been part of a season where we haven't had one penalty kick in favor, right? Yeah. Last year we had 11, but we are top 5 in the country in penalty box touches. So how is that possible? That we're top 5 in the country in 18-yard box penalty touches, but we haven't been awarded a penalty kick, right? I'd have to say that we just haven't had that luck go our way. And I think that's a big difference from last year. We had some luck go our way. Although I think this season, when I talk about not having any PKs awarded, I don't think that's actually luck or being unlucky. I think that's bad officiating.
St. John's hasn't lost in over a month. They're playing some really good soccer too. What do you see in them now in terms of this kind of second half of their season that's maybe different from the way they started?
Coach Mazur's been there for a long time. He was on the sidelines when we made our first Final Four, and I was a player in 1996. And one of the things that he's always established with his program is guys being tough, both mentally and physically. So before we go to any tactical pieces of the game, we have to understand that it's going to be a physical battle. These guys are not going to go away. Now, when you add the fact that they haven't lost in over a month, and they're pretty good soccer players, it's going to be a challenging environment. It's going to be a challenging match. But I look forward to these types of matches because it's only going to make us stronger as we move forward.